How to win with the decision making process. Decision making is the rule to win in life. We have too much to lose before we find ourselves, dreams, and inspirations. In this video, you will find about decision making and the barriers to it and how to eliminate those barriers to succeed in your life. Let's talk about the process first. Identification. This process starts with the identification of an issue or problem and the decision for solving those problems. The second thing is information. In this stage, you start gathering all relevant aspects of the issue and all possible decisions which can help you to sort out alternatives. And the alternatives after the information collection process, you have to sort out all possible alternatives that can help you in the next stage, which is weightage of pros and cons. Here you weigh the pro and cons of those alternatives and consequences of your decisions you have not yet taken. Selection. After weighing the pros and cons of all possible alternatives, now you can select the best, or in other words, the most suitable choice among them. And now is in the process action. Once you selected the best possible choice, you have to act and act instantly. If you didn't act, all the process is wasted time, money, and resources. Review. Your actions have consequences. When you act on your decisions, the review process starts. Here you review what are those consequences and how they impacted either positively or negatively. The next thing is change. If you didn't find favorable results, you can change your decisions. You have already sorted out at least one decision will solve your issue. The cycle of the process. Repetition of this process again and again is the key to win in life. So, now let's talk about the barriers, in other words, the psychological barriers to the decision making process. The psychological barriers which tries to derail your decision making process. The first thing is seeking perfection. Perfection is a philosophical concept rather than factual. These are the imaginary lines like latitude and longitude. For some, perfection is just an illusion, but for others, it's a whole different thing. In this stage of my life, I think that both are right in this way that they are defining themselves in some uncommon ways. Sometimes it forces us to think out of a box. The next barrier to decision making is subjectivity. Most of the times, our assumptions are purely based on our own judgments. They can't let us think of out of box for the life which in its own nature dynamic, full of motion and emotions. These limits are defined by subjectivity, having no objective grounds. The next barrier is metaphysical and parapsychological concepts. I loved my life in different ways. It surprises me to think countless times, although life is made up of simple facts. But these simple facts are not so common. Our sense or our senses are not quite well in comprehending what is metaphysical or parapsychological. One of the parapsychological concept is lack of purpose in life. Understanding life and its facts and figures are quite simple but not easy, especially if you lack the purpose of your life, or according to Viktor Frankl, the meaning of your life, then you will try hard to make your decisions. The life after death doctrine. I think the only easy task of us is living and not dying. Yet we don't know whether there are for sure any better or worse after death. The next one is misunderstanding of time. How refreshing it is to know that we all live at the same time, we have to spend on similar tasks with the same destinies. What to do about it? Well, you have to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. Some are crying for its bitterness, others are happy handling just these strategies of life and tragedies of life. It is no more sacred that all willing to live people are more satisfied with their lives than those who are willing to die. How important it is to create this mindset of an attitude of gratitude. We all are just toys of destiny if we choose not to decide to act in our own goods. Decision making process. We either live our life of choice when we decide to collect the benefits of good decisions. However, good decisions are the results of bad decision. This is where wisdom creeps into the scene. The next thing you can do is know your options. Those of us who believe on a side hustle must realize that failure is an option, but quitting is not. You should know your options to win and decide for the better future. The struggle is a necessary of this process. Struggle and the most precious secret of the universe. Finding a good match that can make you proud today and in the future is your journey, not the destination. Thinking about the bigger picture, I feel pity for those who never thought big things bigger than their fragile selves. It makes their lives too short that they don't have even ordinary lives. Include death in your most important decisions. I used to counsel hepatitis C patients in one of the patient support programs which were struggling with liver cirrhosis. When they were told you are going to die, they started their lives once again with emotions, pride, and gratitude. Sometimes I thought to myself, why we wait too long to start living? Death and dying are not in our control. However, living is in our control. At least we can choose to not die before we die. So conclusion is there are the cognitive components of decision making. So what do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. See you next time. Take care. Bye.